This is Jodi Anoorabh. We grew our Instagram from 0 to 5 lakh followers and YouTube from 0 to 3 lakh subscribers along with our IT full-time jobs.
This we have done with the help of so many things which we have learned along the way. But there is one key practice which we have been following since the beginning when we started this, and we still follow that. And that is called sprint planning.
Yes. So in today's video, we're going to talk about 5 stuff. Number 1, what is sprint planning? Number 2, how do we plan our sprint? Number 3, what are the key things to keep in mind while you're planning? Number 4, how do you get better in it, right? And number 5, how to find motivation.
Correct.
Let's go.
Let's dive into that.
Yeah.
Number 1, what is sprint planning? So this is an agile methodology which we have learned in our corporate job, and we have applied this in our side hustle as well. For those who doesn't know, in simple terms, is basically setting up small achievable goals in a small period of time. So we personally follow a 15 days protocol. So 15 days is something which we call one sprint,
yes.
right? It could be anything. You can have it 10 days, 7 days or whatever
but it's
number.
a short period of time.
And we set up the goals for only those 15 days.
Yes.
That is the idea of sprint planning.
That is sprint planning.
Right.
Number 2 is how do we plan our sprint. So every 15 days we sit together and discuss what do we want to achieve in the next 15 days. So when I say 15 days, 1st and 16th of every month we sit together and discuss. That could be, for example, go to gym daily. Second would be like, do waveboarding. Third would be buy camera. Fourth would be like, buy a backdrop, something like that.
So we don't go to a lot of in details. Basically, we figure out what all things we want to achieve in those next 15 days, and we just write it down in a high level that this is what we want to do. Currently, we are using Notion as our tool to manage all those things. But for the first year, we were just using our notebooks and using normal to-dos and notes which are there and those apps which are there on the phones. That's how we used to manage. So
yes, that's how we used to plan. Number 3 is what are the key things to keep in mind while you're planning?
So you need to set goals which are achievable and which are tangible basically, right? For example, you cannot set up goals like in next 15 days I'm going to have a 6-pack abs, but rather you should set up goal that, hey, I'm going to have 10 push-ups daily for next 15 days. That is something which is in your control, right? For example, you cannot have a goal like I want to grow 10,000 followers in next 15 days. But you can have a goal like you need to post 1 video per day on Instagram or anywhere for the next 15 days. So have those goals which is in your control and which you can do, and the results are driven out of that.
And also document those, right? Don't just keep it in your head. Documenting these goals, writing these goals down is really, really important. That gives you that affirmation that you're going to do it, right?
That is what sprint planning is. Like you write it down.
Write it down, right? Don't plan it in your head, write it down. And also you need to break the bigger goals into the smaller chunk. That's the whole point of it. So let's say you have a goal in your head saying, okay, I need to make one awesome cinematic video. So you can have a task like buying a good camera is one task, and second is like learning a camera setting. Third is like learning basic editing or hiring somebody, something like that. So which can be achievable.
Correct.
For the
next 15 days, because you cannot make a video in 15 days. Like you cannot learn everything, make a video, edit everything. But so break it down, which is achievable in next 15 days. So you need to plan according to that.
Yes.
And also you have to think about the capacity you have, right? Because you have your main job or whatever your school, your college or your corporate job, you have limited number of hours in a day. So think around that, like how much you can achieve.
Don't overestimate.
Yes.
Yep. Cool.
All right. Number 4, how do we get better at it?
Yes, retrospection. You gotta retrospect your achievements and failures. So this would simply mean that, acknowledge or address it.
On the 1st and 16th, before we do the planning, we retrospect the previous sprint. Firstly, you get motivated when you see that, hey, you had put like 10 tasks in that sprint and you achieved, let's say 5. So you feel accomplished, okay, 5 tasks has been done, right? And then you see the 5 tasks which are not done. Just try to understand why that was not done. Maybe you were watching too much of Netflix, maybe you're consuming social media, maybe you had some urgent work in your corporate life which was not giving, but at least just acknowledge that, that's all. Because once you acknowledge that, you will understand what is the root cause of not doing it. And then you will get better and not repeating this thing. So retrospecting the sprint is very, very important.
Number 5, how to find motivation. So I think while you're retrospecting your last sprint, you will obviously see the task getting achieved, right? So that itself is your motivation. Trust me.
First step is the hardest, and for every project which you are doing, like the first step will be that small sprint which you are planning. And once you do that, then the project is started, right? Whatever project you are doing.
Don't worry if you're not able to do it like strictly on 1st or 16th of the month or 1st or 7th of the month. It's okay if you're not able to do it on the 16th, do it on the 17th, do it on the 18th.
Correct.
And keep a shorter sprint.
But
right?
move that from this sprint to the next sprint.
Yes.
And keep doing that until you don't complete it. Like think about it, like you started this side hustle because you want to do this, right? And if you have put this task because obviously you want to complete this, and if you're moving this from first sprint to second sprint, let's say you are not able to do for some reason, from second to third sprint because of another reason, from third to fourth, you will keep on writing that down or moving that task every 15 days, and you will automatically find that motivation. Yeah, you have been doing this a lot, right? You have to finish this. Like you have been procrastinating this a lot, right? So moving that task, written task somewhere from one sprint to another sprint,
it actually gives you motivation.
yeah, because you cannot do this forever.
And it has given us the motivation to complete tasks which was not completed the last sprint. So yeah,
Right.
that's normal, and don't give up on that.
I hope this was useful. We will make more videos around these things. So
Yes.
yeah, watch out.
Bye.